All right, so at number 10, we have wOBA coming off a terrible injury-plagued season last year. You can see his StatCast numbers look pretty decent. I would say he's like Trey Turner, but without the speed. Pretty much the same hitting profile, so he's got good max EVs. The barrel rate's just okay, but a big gap between his results so far this season and where he should be. He doesn't strike out much. The walk rate's a little low, but this is a good hitter. Talented hitter. I think he gets it going a little bit more in the second half. If we look at his playing time, he is top of the Blue Jays order. This is a pretty good offense. The only games he's missed in the last couple months here have been due to injury. So 38th overall in MLB so far this year, 30th in the last 7 days, so he's in a good groove right now. I think this is a second half guy that could have a pretty big rise in his results. And here are the current instant buy prices. Manager sales even a little cheaper. At number 9, I have Otto Lopez of the Marlins. We saw him get hot a little bit before the break. Been kind of waiting for his breakout. This is a guy with some speed, so unlike Bichette, he's going to get you some steals. He actually is a little lower on steals than I expected. In a partial season last year, he had 20. I figured we'd improve on that. We're past the halfway point now, and he only has 10, so I think that improves in the second half. I don't see why the Marlins wouldn't run. It's not like they have a great lineup behind him. If we look at his StatCast numbers, this is a guy that has pretty average max EVs. But he's right at that 110 threshold that I like to look for. Barrel rate's pretty average, but good K rate, makes a lot of contact, decent walk rate for him. Like I said, big gap between his league average results so far and where he probably should be. Guy with this kind of speed, I think this catches up, and if it does, he has a really nice second half. So we already saw him start to break out before the break. I think that'll continue in the second half. And playing time definitely here for Lopez. He got 1 day off back on the 7th of July, but before that, played every game all the way for a month. So this is a regular in this lineup. I don't see why they'd take him out, especially since he's hitting now. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to be their everyday shortstop. And he hits high in the order. And like Bichette, Lopez instant buy is about $4. A manager sale. These are all pretty affordable at this point in the season. If you play rare, you saw Bichette's about $40. Lopez is about $19. Name recognition drives up the cost. Obviously, Bichette, the son of a former big leaguer, will find you some deals. At number 8, we have Mike Trout, and Mike Trout, obviously injury always a risk with him. He's missed some time this year, but when he's healthy, and this is a really impressive player. Obviously, he's been great for a long time when he's on the field. But if you look at these StatCast numbers, I mean, he's really impressive. Still got the massive exit velocities, 115.4 for a max. Barrel rate's huge, so he's squaring things up, and a big gap between where he's at in his wOBA and where his expected is. Strikeout rate's pretty high, but he's had high strikeout rates over the years. Walk rate's also really high, so he's getting on. The sprint speed's still there, but he doesn't run anymore because it's an injury risk for him. But a lot of red on this page, and if we look at his playing time, Angels like to play their regulars all the time. He only missed 1 day back on June 29th, but other than that, he's just been their everyday DH hitting third. So I wouldn't be afraid of him coming out of the lineup unless he gets hurt. And he's only $5.80. Obviously, the rare a little more expensive. On the manager sales side, he's actually more expensive on the manager sale than he is on the instant buy. So you probably want to go instant buy there, especially if you have credits. Number 7 is Jo Adell. And this looks like a breakout to me. This is a guy who was a touted prospect, failed for a number of seasons to do anything. And this year, he has really figured it out. We look at his StatCast numbers. The barrel rate is huge. The exit velocities have always been there. This year it's just fine at 113. He's hitting the ball hard. Big, strong guy. The wOBA at 346 is very good, but the expected at 399 is elite. Top 2%. He's gotten his strikeout rate down to a normal level. These last couple of years, this was something that was always a problem for him. You see some 37.5% and 40% strikeout rates. Last year was better. This year is really good. He's probably coming into his prime here at 26. Usually 27 is the age that most players have their best seasons. Everything looks good. Walk rate a little low, but he's really hitting. I wouldn't worry too much about that. And as a right-handed hitter, he's pretty good against both this year. I wouldn't worry too much about it. So is the playing time there? Like I said with Trout, the Angels play their regulars pretty much all the time. He's been very good. He hasn't come out at all in the last couple of months, hitting in the middle of the order. $4.55 for the limited, $30. The rare on manager sales, $5.80, $37.16. Number 6 is Sal Perez, and Sal Perez started to get it going just before the break. You can see this little spike here. Pretty pedestrian first half overall for him, and if we look at what he's done over the last couple of years, he's kind of on pace, but definitely been a disappointment. Perez is a guy who's always had big exit velocities, and he actually hit the hardest hit ball of his career this year at 35 years old. So that's encouraging. The barrel rate is there, 14.2, and a huge gap. 304 wOBA, 361 expected wOBA. Part of this can be explained because he is a really slow runner, so a lot of the balls that other players would beat out, he doesn't, but that doesn't explain a 57-point gap. Strikeout rate's very manageable. Walk rate's always been low for him. That's what you get with Sal Perez. He likes to swing it. But I would expect continued positive regression the rest of this summer. I don't think he's done yet. For a while, I thought maybe he's completely washed at 35, but all the underlying numbers say he's still fine. I think you're going to have a decent second half from Sal Perez. And again, another guy who's about $4 on Instant Buy. And if you play rare, he's really cheap, $13.93. You can get one for $10.45 on a manager sale. At number 5, we have Michael Conforto. And this one was a surprise to me that he hit this list. He's been pretty unlucky this year. It's not as bad as you think he is. He is a guy, though, that will not play every day. He is going to be pretty much a strict platoon because his hitting against lefties has been pretty bad throughout his career. Only 49 at-bats this year, 9 for 49, so not good. If we look at his StatCast, this has always been a guy that hits the ball hard. His days with the Mets were his best days. He's 32 now, so kind of past his prime. But he's gotten a lot of shots with the Dodgers this year. The K rate and walk rate are fairly normal. Barrel rate's just okay. It's just a giant gap between his actual results and his expected. And the expected is well above league average. He's hitting 184 with 8 homers, so this is definitely a buy low opportunity. For the last 100 plate appearances, he's been pretty good. I think he's going to continue to get time. This is more of a guy you'd probably use in dailies because he will sit against quite a few lefties. He's going to be in a good Dodger lineup quite a bit, and definitely somebody you can get on the cheap. $1.75 for a limited manager sale, $3.24, $19.74 for limited and rare instant buys. At number 4, I have Luis Garcia of the Nats. This is a guy that I've liked for a long time. He's played a couple years now. I think he's improving. He's still only 25. This is a guy that has elite bat-to-ball skills, but probably swings too much, doesn't take enough pitches, and he's always struggled against left-handed pitching. If we look at his splits, much better against right-handers. Because of that, he will sit a lot against left-handed pitchers. So another guy that you can't normally play in your game weeks unless the Nats are facing all righties. If he ever figures that out, I think you're going to have a really good player because his bat and ball stuff all looks good. He's got the exit velocity. K rates are good. The walk rate's too low. So we're still looking for improvement here, but I think he's going to be better in the second half than he was in the first. 306 expected, batting average, he's hitting 259. So I think there's definitely some positive regression coming for Garcia. But like I was saying, if we look at his playing time, when he faces lefties, he usually sits. He will play here and there, but he usually sits against lefties. Against righties, he's in the top. He's either in like the 3 hole or the 5 hole. One to keep an eye on. Number 3 on this list is Ben Rice. And Ben Rice has been pretty unlucky, and then also unlucky to play for the Yankees where he just doesn't get on the field as much as he probably should. This is a really impressive StatCast page. Hits the ball hard, great barrel rate, huge gap between the xwOBA and the regular wOBA. 344 so far this year, 235, 14 homers. He doesn't steal bases. K rate very good at 20.5. Walk rate's fine. Everything looks great here. He just needs to get on the field. Tried him at catcher, filling in for Austin Wells when Stanton came back because he was DHing quite a bit early in the season, but now with Stanton back, those opportunities are drying up. He's 26, and if we look at his splits, much better against right-handed pitchers, but not completely awful against lefties. So we'll see if he can figure that out a little bit. The StatCast is just super impressive for this guy, but his playing time just isn't there right now. So definitely sitting against lefties, and he's sitting against a lot of righties too. I think you'd probably need an injury to either Stanton or Goldschmidt, or trade. I think he will be a name that a lot of teams are interested in, but I don't know if the Yankees are willing to let him go. Good guy to have in dailies when he's playing against a righty, though. And he's 324 for a limited and 34.84 for rare in instant buy, and even cheaper on the manager sales side. And that brings us to number 2, and that's Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds has been slumping a little bit, but this is a good hitter. He's been a good hitter for a long time. I think he may be moved at the deadline. I've heard talk that he's going to get moved. If he gets moved to a better lineup, better situation, he might fire a little bit in the second half. I think he's going to do well anyway, but gets put in a better situation. It may really help him. His strikeout rate's way up this year. Walk rate's down a little bit, but still the underlying numbers are great. 112.3 max exit EV, that's good. Barrel rate's good. And the gap here, I mean, you're looking at a 64-point difference between wOBA and xwOBA. There should be some positive regression for Brian Reynolds. He's got some speed. He's not running much with the Pirates this year, but he's got decent speed. I think you could see the stolen bases creep up a little bit in the second half, especially if he gets put on a different team. Yeah, definitely a buy low opportunity on Reynolds. And this is really the one Pirate that almost never comes out of the lineup. So he was on paternity leave. Other than that, he's played every game over the last couple of months. In the 3-hole every day. These are the kind of guys that are good lineup fillers for cheap. If you're buying now, you're buying low on Brian Reynolds. You're getting him for $225 on a manager's sale. That's pretty cheap. $289 on instant buy with your credits. You're looking at $1.50. Not a bad guy to pick up if he gets traded to a better situation. I think you could be looking at a really nice second half. The number one on this list, biggest gap between wOBA right now in the season and expected, is Juan Soto. Look at this StatCast page. This guy did not make the All-Star team. That's insane. We forget he's only 26 years old because it seems like he's been around forever. He debuted in 2018 as a 19-year-old and was immediately a star. And then he got better. So the profile is just so unique. His barrel rate is huge, 18%, more than double league average. His max EV is 114.3 this year. That's top 8%. He's hitting .262. His expected batting average is .315. There's definitely positive regression coming, and you could see over his last 100 plate appearances, he's been just on fire. You're going to get some massive production out of Soto in the second half. This is the most amazing part to me. So he debuted as a 19-year-old and was walking 16% of the time. He got his walk rate up into the 20s the last couple of years. And the strikeout rate's crept up a little bit as he presses, tries to make things happen. But this is a guy that when he's right, he's just not swinging at anything out of the zone, and he's crushing everything in the zone. And I think he's going to be crushing in the second half. 455 xwOBA. I mean, that's like top of the top. And people are down on him. You know, like, oh, he hasn't been good enough. You can get his limited for $26 in season, instant buy. So with credits, like $13. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. 22 on the open market. Yeah, if you don't have a Soto yet. The other thing is, he's got 11 steals. And his sprint speed is only 18th percentile, which means he's just a really good base runner. He's just very good at baseball in general. Plays for the Mets. Great team to play for. They never take out their starters. He plays every day. Every day's in the 3-hole. Nothing bad to say about this guy. And that's just too cheap. All right, if you like this type of content, come check out what we're doing over at SoRare Edge. I'll put a link to my Patreon in the show notes of this video in the description. You can sign up for free, check out what we're doing, and if you want to join one of the paid tiers, I have projections each day for daily games and each game week. You can get access to that sheet, see all those projections for $5 a month. If you want it personalized for your own collection, we have a gallery organizer that also includes an optimizer that'll make some lineups for you. Premium's only $10 a month. Great way to get yourself organized. I built a model that incorporates all the stats that I think are important to projecting future success. And our group has won over $66,000 in the first half of the season so far. So we're doing something right over here. Come check us out. Thanks for watching.